Yeah, sound the alarm. Sound the alarm. They coming for Diddy, man. They coming for him. Watch out, Diddy. 50 told you to watch out. He said they all coming for you now. He must have not paid his Illuminati bill. All right, y'all. Let me say one thing. This is the problem with the internet, all right? Is that a lot of y'all go on here and you guys make your videos and you don't understand how the music industry works. Okay, some of us on YouTube actually did work in the music industry. And I got to tell y'all, unpopular opinion, Cassie knew what she was getting herself into. She knew. She knew what she was getting herself into. But let me ask a more serious question. What the heck? Before like, you know, everybody's putting the thing on Diddy, and I'm not trying to excuse him or say what he did was right. But let me ask y'all a question, though. Who the heck would let their 19-year-old daughter hang out with a 40-year-old man? Who? Where were the parents at, yo? Where were the parents at? Who would allow this, man? And let me say something. This happens in the music industry all the time. All the time. You see, this is the problem here, is that a lot of you YouTubers don't really understand how the music industry works. You're going to tell me that these young teenagers come into this world of stardom, fame and fortune and all that, right? And you're going to tell me that they didn't know what they were getting themselves into? You're 19 years old, yo. What you doing with a 40-year-old man? A 40-year-old multimillionaire, too, at that time. Now I believe he's a billionaire. But at the time, he was a multimillionaire. Did y'all forget what happened with Pac and Biggie? And then you're going to allow this young teenage girl to run around with this man and not think that there could be some serious precautions at play? No, you knew what you was getting yourself into. You knew what you was getting yourself into. And everybody wants to parade around here like she was this victim that didn't know what was going on, and he introduced her into a world of sex and drugs and all kinds of mischievous behaviors. Now, again, I'm not saying that what Diddy did was not bad. I'm not trying to take any sides here. I'm just looking at this from a different perspective. Because like I said, I've watched a lot of y'all videos, man. I've watched a lot of y'all YouTuber videos. And I got to say, with the exception of a few, y'all don't really know how this music industry works. Let me pull up a few things that I was watching. There was a few videos that I was looking at, like this girl right here. I don't know who this is, but let's just run through. I mean, I know we all know the claims and we've all heard of what was going on, but let's just have this YouTuber run through it real quick.
For Ms. Ventura, the dark times were those she spent trapped by Mr. Combs in a cycle of abuse, violence, and sex trafficking. Among other violent and unlawful acts, Mr. Combs raped Ms. Ventura in her own home after she tried to leave him. And going forward,
after she tried to leave him, she wanted a record deal. Okay, like you wanted that record deal. If you really felt that bad about it, then I'm sure you could have left. There was actually other documents where she had said that she was afraid to say anything because she was afraid of her album getting shelved. So she supposedly went through all the things that she went through so she could come out and be a star. But let's be honest. Was she really a star, or did she have a one-hit wonder? Let's just see what else is going on here.
I feel you guys must know that she was 19 and he was well into his 30s when they met. Now,
almost
that
40.
is a disturbing age gap. But you will see in clips that I will show you later on in this video that it's about power for him. He gets off on having this sick power over people. In January
He's not the only one.
2009, after Mr. Combs learned that Ms. Ventura spoke to another music manager at a party in Los Angeles, he became enraged. She had hoped speaking to this manager would allow her to further grow her career and that Mr. Combs would be happy.
Okay, we heard all that part.
How to find male sex workers to participate the FOs. Going forward, the FOs are just short for freak offs.
Okay, so we all know all this part, right? We all know all this. But this is the point. She was 19 years old and he was damn near 40. Okay? You gonna tell me that you want to be a star, you want to be a celebrity, you want a life of fame and fortune. There's prices that gotta pay. You know, you guys heard that saying, sometimes you gotta sign with the devil. Well, I guess some people can consider Diddy part of the devil or the Illuminati or whatever you want to call it, these freak off parties where they would run around in masquerades and hire sex workers. I guess we can't say those words, right? So I'm gonna make sure I go and bleep out the other ones. Yeah, so they hired these workers and they had these extravagant parties. I'm almost wondering, was Cassie really just a high class ESCORT with a record deal? Is that really what she was? Because that's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like to me, oh, you want a record deal? Which is what we know most people in that industry want. That this is what happens? This is what happens? Let me also say this, though. Do we all remember? Because, you know, I'm just going to do a quick little take on this. Do we all remember how Cassie even came about meeting Diddy? Yo, she was with Ryan Leslie. Okay? Vlad just resurfaced the interview. I was watching it the other day. Let's just check this out real quick. Where he's basically saying that he had to pass his girl off to Diddy for a deal. Now, if this girl has not been passed around the industry, we won't even get into Kid Cudi yet. It sounds like she's been passed around the music industry. She came in with Ryan Leslie. Diddy took her over, said, hey, even though he was married at the time, he still wanted her.
And her deal is through Puff.
Yeah.
So was there any sort of strain, the fact that she is, you know, kind of seen with Puff a lot and they have some sort of relationship in terms of, you know, like that sort of, you know, triangle kind of approach where, you know, you
Yo, pause. I was like, is that Britney Spears with a Wu-Tang hat on right there?
guys had a relationship, you're signed to Puff, she's seen out with Puff. I mean, does that create some sort of strain in your personal life?
Well, I think that you know, as a human being, right? You know, it's just you know, some of these questions, like they would seem to me that they would have obvious answers. You know what I mean? Just you know, if you were to put yourself in my position as a human being, right? And so you know, there are definitely some. There are and there were definitely those moments and instances where, you know, you question what's really going on. But for us on the outside, because even in terms of her relationship with Puff, I'm on the outside.
Yeah, see, he doesn't know what to say right there, but basically, yeah, Diddy took your girl. So she never really wanted to be with him. Okay, that's the reason why she came out with these allegations. Now, this is an interesting part that I saw on page 6, where they said that Sean Diddy Combs' lawyer says that basically this does not admit of any wrongdoing just because he settled. Now, I'm pretty sure that he has some of the best teams around him. I'm pretty sure that Diddy got in touch with other music moguls like Jay-Z, probably Russell Simmons, probably talked to them because, you know, come on, man. They've all been in the same similar situation. Like, we got Kimora Sims, Russell Simmons' wife, that supposedly is saying some things, but she ain't really saying another thing. Another woman who was groomed from high school by Russell Simmons, right? Yeah. She was groomed right out of high school. All this stuff is starting to resurface. But come on, man. This is the record industry. We know that the record industry is messy. We know that it's dirty. This is why I do not date women in the music industry. Watch out, yo. If you choose to date female rappers or somebody in the music industry, come on, man. And let's bring up real quick Ice Spice, man. You don't think that Ice Spice is somewhere right now getting turned out Look at her, man. Look at her. Let's go to these images real quick. You don't think that she's somewhere right now getting turned out? How do you think she got in the business, yo? She's an industry plant. You know what's really interesting? Is that she just started rapping a year ago, and now she already has a Grammy nomination. I think she has a few Grammy nominations, and she just started rapping a year ago. As a matter of fact, I don't even think she really started rapping. I think she just was literally a plant. You don't think she's getting turned out somewhere right now? You want to be in the record industry? This is what you got to go through. You want to be famous? This is what you got to go through. Just a bunch of grown men here that paved the way for y'all. You know what's so interesting too is that when I was speaking to one of my homegirls about this and I was telling her, hey, by the way, did you know that Diddy also paid her bills and he bought her a car? She didn't refuse none of that, did she? She didn't refuse the Jaguar. You know, she didn't refuse the nice luxury apartment in LA or Miami or wherever she was. No, she took all those gifts. You got to be careful, ladies. When you take gifts from men, especially grown men, they might expect something in return for that. Y'all got to remember, there's not really many things in life that are free. The only things that are free is really respect and love. But other than that, you got to pay for everything else. Nobody really does favors anymore. Nobody really does favors. Nobody gives out gifts just because. I mean, you have your exceptions, but let's be real, man. Ain't no man gonna buy a car and pay the rent. Now, I, again, disclaimer, am not trying to say that what was done was by any means trying to justify that, because I know how the internet is dumb and y'all like to take words and twist them and turn them out of context. I'm not trying to defend or say that anything that was done here was okay. But I will say this. When he supposedly broke into the house, or shall I say allegedly, and did the bad things that he did, that she allegedly claimed in her lawsuit, was that the house that he was paying rent for? You know, because if you're paying rent somewhere for somebody, I mean, it's just a messy situation. It's a messy situation. I'm willing to bet that the house that she claimed that he broke into was the house that he was paying rent for. We're going to need the whole full story, yo. We're going to need the whole full story. There's a lot of stuff that's been missing out here. Missing out here. So what it sounds like is that he probably, I mean, you know, the case is all over the place. But what I'm hearing is that he offered her $5 million. She wanted $30 million. Basically said, if you don't give me $30 million, I'm going to come out to the public with this. Guess he called her bluff. Now, I also heard that the lawyer she had was the same lawyer that took Harvey Weinstein down. So he knew that she wasn't playing around. Now, I also think, of course, because you can't get to Diddy's level of success without being smart or intelligent. I think that he's intelligent, and he realizes that the internet and that a lot of people have short attention spans, especially in today's world. So I think that he went ahead and resolved this case as fast as possible because he knew that sooner or later, by next week, there's going to be some other stuff that's going on and y'all will forget and we will move on to other topics. So instead of dragging this thing out, having this long court case, having all of the details exposed, having him possibly do some jail time, he just said, you know what? I'm going to pay off this little fine, shut it up. Let's close the door on this. This happened years ago. Let's move on. You ain't going to tarnish my legacy. And like some people have said, Diddy is just too powerful, man. He obviously has handlers and people protecting him and people in his corner that are not going to let him go down. He has been doing this since the beginning of his rise. Do we all forget that he shot up the club with Shine and J-Lo? This is the reason why J-Lo left him. because she said that he was a liability. But let's be real, man. How many women have been with Diddy that didn't really want to be with Diddy? They were just with him because they wanted to be in the record industry. They wanted to put out records. They wanted to be famous. The man is a powerful man, and he has the right to buy some ass. Sell it, man. Sell that. Sell it, man. Do that. It's high class. It's another form of high class SEX workers. Yo. We don't even need to get into J-Lo. Yo, I'm going to tell you, man. I'm going to tell you right now. Respect to J-Lo, but I heard she was doing some freaky stuff back in her In Living Color days to get on. We need to start exposing what some of these females are doing in the music industry as well. Let's stop talking about just what the men are doing. Can we also talk about what the women are doing to get on? What did Ice Spice do to get on? What did Nicki Minaj do to get on? Where did Cardi B come from, yo? Like, where did Cardi B come from? Can somebody please tell me? Oh, she came from a reality show. This was the same woman who admitted to drugging men and robbing them. And then they glorified it, right? They made it sound like she was so brave that they even made a movie based on her drugging men. Oh, you're so brave, Cardi. You had to go through so much pain to get to where you are in life. Drugging men and robbing them. Good for you, Cardi. What did a lot of these women do to get on into the business? And the other question is this, is that what are these women willing to do to become successful? And let's say that you're in the room with the powerful man like a Diddy, who's a billionaire. And he's like, you know what, girl? I can make you famous. But you got to do this for me. How many people are going to say, yeah, you know what? What you want to do? You want to go back to work at Walmart tomorrow? Or would you rather be doing videos like this and getting paid millions of dollars? But all you got to do is, just come to a freak off with me and, I'm going to film it. It's crazy, man. This is why the music industry is not for everyone. Not everybody should be a rapper. Have y'all noticed, and this will be another video, but have y'all noticed the decline of female rappers in the last 10 years? Or is it just myself? Is it just me? Or have y'all noticed the decline of female rappers? I don't know. Like maybe they just all got turned down and they cool with it now. Because it appears to me with Sexy Red, Ice Spice, of course you got the Cardis, the Nickis, the Lottos. Even you got female rappers who aren't even attractive, who are trying to show their skin. You got this Ruby Rose. I mean, that Ruby Rose video that I saw trending on Twitter where she was dancing in the gym and the old man was looking at her, and I just was like, she seems like a stripper. This is a rapper? I'm like, this looks like a stripper. A lot of these women know what they're getting themselves into, and then after they become famous, or let's say they don't become famous, like Cassie. Like, did anybody really care who Cassie was before this? I mean, was she even considered a one-hit wonder? I remember hearing that song on the radio here and there. Why? Because Diddy paid the radio stations to play it. Just like Ice Spice's record label paid the Grammys to list her as a Grammy nominee. Ridiculous. This is the music industry, man. Y'all need to know that this is how the music industry works. And it's interesting how we have all of these people that come on the internet that say, oh, Diddy is he's such a creep. He's such an asshole. He's such a dangerous person. He needs to be put in jail. Do y'all realize that this has been going on since before Diddy was in the record industry? Did y'all realize that this was going on before Diddy was in the record industry? Can we go back to the 40s, the 50s, the 30s with these rock stars? You going to tell me that they weren't talking to these teenage girls? You going to tell me, Are we going to go back to there? Are we going to go back to that? Let's go back to that time. Let's go back to Woodstock. Let's go back to before Woodstock. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back to all these dudes, all these men that were in the music industry. You going to tell me that this wasn't happening already? But it seems like, too, this is happening more and more to the black community than other nationalities I see. Now, I did hear that there was a report of Steven Tyler that came out with Aerosmith, which is just so tragic that it happened so long ago. Now, if those things did happen, terrible. But why wait so long to say something? Oh, because she was in fear. No, I think the truth is that, well, with this particular situation with Cassie, I feel that it was a payday. I don't think that it was really about justice being served. Because if it was really about justice being served, I believe that she would push the narrative and she would push the story as she did and not settle that quick and just disappear. Now, if she disappears off the face of the earth after this settlement, like if she doesn't do any interviews, she doesn't come out and she doesn't still tell her side of the story, which I'm pretty sure she had to sign an NDA after the claim. I'm pretty sure she had to sign an NDA after she got her settlement. But still, though, if you really want to expose this man for the quote alleged monster that you say that he is, alleged monster that you say that he is, then you should speak your truth. Don't just take 30 million and walk. I mean, yeah, you could do that, but you should still put the truth out there if that's the case. But I will say this, though. Diddy is not the only one doing this. And I think that a lot of women that come into the music industry, they understand that for the most part, this is how this game goes. And if you want to get on, this is what it's about. You know, it's so funny. It's like I said, when I was talking to one of my homegirls about this, she said, she needs a Diddy. And I said, are you sure? Let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. I really hope you guys can like, subscribe,